So what we're going to do is we're going to start by coming onto our backs. So I want you to bring the soles of the feet together and the knees out wide. If that's too much, you can bring the feet flat with the knees pointing up. And we're just going to come into the breath. And I want you to sigh out the first few exhales. So just bringing yourself into the practice. And then just continue to breathe in and out through the nose. So I'll just keep an eye. If we don't have anyone else joining us, then we can probably leave the sword yoga sequence and we'll just do it without the sword. So don't worry too much. And let's breathe in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe out for 1, 2, 3, 4. And just notice as you breathe in, that belly rising and pressing into the hands. As we breathe out, gently drawing back towards the mat. Someone has come in. I'm going to let them in. I'm just going to see who that is. Brilliant. And just bring your attention now to the sides of the rib cage, so you can move the hands there if that's comfortable. And as you breathe in, just feel that space being created between each rib. As we press into the hands and gently drawing in on the exhale. I really do notice the ribs and the shape and the movement in the space. And I was telling some of my yogis about a workshop that I did on the rib basket. So rather than thinking of it as a cage where it's static and it doesn't really move, think of it more as a basket. So it creates space when we breathe, drawing back. Let's breathe into the back of the ribs now. So you can take the hands there and feel that gap in that lumbar spine. And as you inhale, feel that breath just pressing into the back of the ribs. Breathing into those costo-vertebral joints where the ribs join the spine. Slowly moving your awareness to the chest and the shoulders now. As you inhale, feel the shoulders rotate away from the midline, opening the heart. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Just go with your own breath. Just bring your awareness into the body and how it's feeling today. Notice any pains or aches you may have. Maybe breathing a little deeper into those parts. And we're just going to move our awareness now to the whole body. So you can visualize yourself looking down if that helps. And as you inhale, I want to get a sense of breathing in and lifting through the whole body. And exhale as we breathe out through the whole body. And at any time during the practice you feel the mind wander or drift, just draw it back to the breath as many times as you need. On the next inhale, we're going to draw the knees in together. So take your time. I'm going to bring each knee into the chest. And just take a nice little rock and give yourself a little hug as well. So just be mindful of the back here. And we're going to inhale as we bring the legs up towards the sky. We're going to press the feet towards the ceiling. We're going to flex the toes towards the face. You can mirror it with the hands and the arms. So you can bring the wrists in, so extending the fingers towards the face. And we're going to point and flex, point and flex. Just take a few rotations in the wrists and the ankles in both directions. As I said, we're going to focus a little bit more on the legs today. So just notice the hamstrings and slowly start opening the legs out wide, but opening up the groin and the thigh muscles. Just take it as far as it's comfortable. You can take a little rock from side to side. Just breathe with it. Slowly draw the legs in. Bring the knees into the chest. I'm going to take the feet flat onto the mat. And just check that you can brush the heels with the fingertips. Arms by the side. We're going to inhale as we lift up into bridge pose. So just breathe into it. Get that lift. Working into the quads as well. Engage those inner thigh muscles to keep the knees a little bit towards each other. Let's take one more inhale and exhale to release. I'm going to shoot the legs up in the air one more time. And we're going to do a few abs exercises as well. It's always good to work the abs. So we're going to take our leg raises. So work your legs towards the mat. Squeeze the thighs towards each other and inhale to lift. So you can tap the lower abs to check that they're engaged. Just work through a few of these in your own breath. And you can go out to the left to work into the obliques and go out to the right. Just take 3 more. Nice and controlled. Slowly come up and bring the knees in with a nice squeeze. Bring the feet onto the mat, arms by the side. Inhale, lift up, bridge pose. And this time, if you want to take it a little bit deeper, you can lift up one leg. Try not to lose that lift in the hips. And slowly release. Bring the hips down on the exhale. We're going to take a little bit more abs. So this time, we're going to tilt the pelvis towards the belly. Feel that lumbar spine pressing into the mat. Try to monitor that throughout this exercise. And we're going to inhale to lift off. You can take the legs straight, you can bend them, your choice. Press that lumbar spine, engage the core. And release. We're going to do 2 more of those. So just take a couple of breaths. Gently tilt that pelvis for the second time. We're going to inhale to lift. Remember, you can change it here. You can float the legs side to side, up and down. And let's stay here. 3, 2, 1. And release. A couple of breaths. I'm going to do that one more time. Tilt the pelvis, prepare yourself. And we're going to inhale as we lift up. Breathe in, breathe out. Hold it for 3, 2, 1, and release. And just hug it in. And slowly bring the feet to the mat. Arms by the side. We're going to inhale, lift up into bridge pose. And you can lift the other leg this time. And slowly release on the exhale. We're going to bring the arms out wide. We're going to take a couple of twists. So we're going to inhale, lift the hips. Exhale as we twist over to the right. We're breathing into that left side body. Draw that left shoulder blade towards the mat. So a nice stretch. And when you're ready, slowly come up on the inhale. Just take a nice big breath in and out. Now we're going to lift the hips on the inhale and exhale as we twist it over to the left this time. Just take your time, be aware of any differences. Breathing all the way in, all the way out. Feel that space in the ribs. We're going to slowly come up on the inhale. We're going to draw the knees into the chest. Give yourself a nice little hug and a gentle rock from side to side. And we're going to come into our cross-legged position. So you can get there in a safe way. So you can roll out to the side or you can rock up and down the spine, whatever works for you. We're just going to be in our cross-legged position for a few moments. Just do a bit more stretching here. We're going to inhale as we lift the shoulders towards the ears. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Take the arms up. Take the gaze up. Exhale to lower. Inhale. Exhale. Take one more. And release. So just take a few sideways movements with the neck. Round. Nice. I'm going to bring that right hand to the right side of the mat. We're going to inhale as we lift and lengthen through the left. And as you exhale, come for a nice stretch over to the right. Bring it onto the forearm if it's available, as long as you're still grounding through that left buttock and left hip. So we're not losing that stretch. We're going to inhale to release, lift that left arm all the way behind, open out the right leg. And we're going to inhale as we lift the right hip, and shoot the heart all the way up, nice and open. And exhale to release, bring it back to the mat. We're going to keep that right leg nice and active, micro bend if you need it. Check that you're nicely grounded, and we're going to work into that right hamstring. So we're going to inhale as we lift and lengthen. And exhale as we hinge forward from the hip. So working towards that right leg. As you inhale, lift the upper body. Exhale, see if you can find that space. It's not about grabbing that foot as such. It's creating that space, working into that right hamstring. And slowly come up on the inhale. Take a moment. We're going to draw that right leg in. I'm going to work the other side. Left hand down beside you on the left. Inhale as we lift and lengthen through the right. Stretch it over to the left. Just take your time. Breathe in. I'm going to inhale as we float that right arm all the way up. Take it behind. Open up the left leg. Inhale as we shoot that left arm up. Lift up for a nice heart opener. And exhale, bring the bum back to the mat. We're going to face that left leg this time. So check you're nicely grounded, flexing into that left foot. Inhale as we lift and lengthen. Exhale, let's hinge forward from the hips. So working into that left leg here. So it might be different on this side. I'm a little bit tighter on this side. As you inhale, breathe into the upper body. Exhale, reach forward. We're going to slowly come up on the inhale. Just take a moment. And we're going to bring ourselves into our tabletop position. So coming into your all fours, hands spread out nice and wide, wrists below the shoulders, knees below the hips. I'm going to take our cat-cow breath. So as you inhale, tilt the pelvis away from the belly, draw the belly towards the mat, shoulders in towards the spine, gaze comes up. Exhale, let's reverse that motion, draw the belly in. Round the shoulder blades, gaze comes down. Take your time with this movement. Nice and good. Mindful of any pains and aches in the back. And you can take some sideways movements if you want. Just take a couple more and bring yourself back to your neutral spine. And we're going to inhale that right arm out. So reach the fingers forward, parallel with the mat. And we're going to take that left leg up. Try to line up the hips. So you might need to externally rotate the hip or internally rotate the hip. You can stay here, or you can bend the left knee and take hold of the left foot in the hand, the right side. Inhale as you lift up, press the hand, press the foot. Nice. Take the gaze over the right shoulder if it's available. And exhale to release. We're going to take that left arm out this time, parallel with the mat. Option to bring the right leg up. Option to bend the right knee. Take hold of the right foot in the left hand. Press that foot into the hand. Get that lift. Working into that right quad. Breathe with it. And exhale to release. Take a couple of breaths in. We're going to tuck the toes under. And on the next inhale, we're going to lift the hips up, coming into our downward facing dog. So take your time, pedal the feet, bend the knees, press the hands into the mat. I want you to externally rotate the upper arm so you've got a space between the shoulder blades. We're going to inhale as we lift the heels. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Just take one more in your own breath. And release. We're going to take 3 lion's breaths in. Take one more inhale. And as you exhale, take the gaze between the hands and slowly walk the feet towards the hands. We're just going to come into our ragdoll for a few moments. Remember to bend the knees. If there's any back issues or tight hamstrings, just swing it out, shake it out. Shake the head, nod the head. And just come to your point of stillness and take the hands wherever they reach, whether it's the mat, the big toes, the thighs, the shins. And we're going to inhale as we lift the chest, straighten the arms. Exhale to release. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Just take a few more. And when you're ready, you're going to come all the way up. Take your time. So lead with the chest, take care of the back. We're going to inhale as we take the arms all the way up. You can come onto the tiptoes, nice and tall. And exhale to release. And just take a few shoulder rolls in both directions. We're going to slowly make our way into our mountain pose, Tadasana. So just check your feet. You can bring them together with the big toes touching and the heels slightly apart, or you can keep them apart. Take a look at the toes. We're going to lift the toes up, spread them out as you bring them back to the mat. Shoulders away from the ears, arms by the side. And just close down the eyes for a few moments. Just coming into the breath. Slowly opening the eyes. We're going to inhale to rise. Take the gaze up. Exhale. Let's fold forward from the hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale. Let's step back into plank pose. We're going to hold it just a little bit longer. Draw the heels away from the body. Lift the hips up. Nice engagement of the core here. Press the hands into the mat. Take a nice inhale. And as you exhale, we're going to lower down through chaturanga. So elbows in towards the body. Inhale as we open the heart. Press the tops of the feet into the mat. Exhale, downward facing dog. Notice how your body's feeling now compared to when we started. Take one more inhale. Exhale, gaze between the hands, step or walk feet to hands. We're going to inhale, we lift up halfway. Take care of the back here. We're going to exhale to fold. Inhale to rise through Hastasana, Drishti to thumbs. Exhale, let's come back. Arms by the side. Just take a few shoulder rolls here. We're going to inhale to rise. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back into plank pose. Just hold it here. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, lower down through chaturanga. You can drop the knees for this if you need to. Press the tops of the feet into the mat. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to inhale that right leg in the air. So flex that right foot nice and big. Exhale, bend the right knee, bring the right foot between the hands. And we're going to inhale as we shoot the hands up towards the sky, coming into our low lunge. Keep that length in the upper body nice and strong. Keep the bend in that right knee, keep it strong. Breathe in, breathe out. As you exhale, we're going to sweep the arms behind us, lean forward into your arrow lunge. Keep breathing with it. We're going to inhale, shoot the arms up, come into a low lunge. And we're going to exhale and twist it over to the right. Come back to center, twist it over to the left. We're going to come back to center. We're going to bring the hands to the waist. So we're going to drop that left foot in slightly. Bring the hands to heart center. And we're going to start lifting that left leg up, coming into our warrior three. So don't worry if you fall out of this. It's quite a strong sequence. Lift that left leg will help you get the balance. Take the arms behind or ahead, your choice. And as you exhale, bring the hands to the mat. I'm going to lift that left leg up into our standing splits. You can release the hands onto that right leg if it's available. You can have a little go at that. And as you exhale, we're going to start bending into that right knee. And we're going to drop the left foot onto the mat. We're going to take the right leg up and out for our three-legged plank. And take yourself through a three-legged chaturanga. So drop the top of the right foot. Untap the left toes as you open the heart. Exhale, come back into downward facing dog. We're going to inhale that right leg in the air again. And this time we're going to bend the right knee and stack the hips. Take the gaze under the right armpit. Option to drop the right foot down into your wild leg. And let's all meet back in downward facing dog. Take one more inhale. Exhale, gaze between the hands, step or float, feet to hands. We're going to inhale as we lift up halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale to rise. Gaze into the thumbs. Exhale, release the arms. Just take a few breaths here. Take a sip of water. Before we work through the other side. Again, just take care of yourself here. It might be different from the other side. So bring your feet into your Tadasana. Just check your feet again. Lift the toes, spread them out as you bring them back to the mat. Shoulders away from the ears, arms by the side. Breathe all the way in, all the way out. Inhale to rise. Exhale to fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, step back into plank pose. Hold it here just a little bit longer. Draw the heels away, nice and strong. Exhale, let's lower it down. Elbows in towards the ribs. Inhale, as we open the chest. Tops of the feet pressing into the mat. Exhale, downward facing dog. Going to inhale that left leg in the air this time. And we're going to bend the left knee, left foot between the hands. Inhale, lift the arms up, coming into our low lunge. Feel that space in the upper body. Feel the legs working. Exhale, sweep the arms behind, arrow lunge. Try not to collapse into that front leg. Keep it strong. Inhale, lift the arms up, low lunge. You're going to exhale as we twist it over to the left. Just come back through center. Twist it over to the right. Back through center. Let's bring the hands to the waist. And we're going to hop that right foot in a few inches. Let's bring the hands to heart center. And we're going to lift that right leg up, coming into our warrior three. Lift, lift, lift. Try to get it parallel to the mat. It's available. Press that left into the mat. As you exhale, we're going to bend that knee and slowly just bring the hands to the mat. And we're going to just come into our standing split. So take your time here. And you can have a go at releasing the hands, that left ankle area, or wherever it is. We're going to slowly bend that left knee, and we're going to bring that right foot down, shoot that left leg out, coming into your three-legged plank. And you can have a go at your three-legged chaturanga. And coming back, downward facing dog. And let's just take 3 line breaths here. We're going to inhale that left leg in the air. And you can bend the left knee, stack the hips, take the gaze under the left armpit. Option to drop that left leg back, coming into your wild thing. And we're all going to be in downward facing dog. Let's take one more inhale. Exhale, gaze between the hands, step or walk, feet to hands. We're going to inhale, we lift up halfway. Exhale to fall. Inhale to rise. Exhale to release. We'll take a few moments here. We are going to try and do a little sword yoga sequence, but you don't need to do it with the sword. So just to give you a little bit of a heads up, what we're going to do, we're going to come out into our goddess pose. And then from goddess pose, we're going to come into warrior two. If you have the sword, you're going to come into your finestra. We're going to work it all the way down into a very low side lunge. I'm going to come all the way back to the other side. And there's going to be a few other bits. But just to give you the heads up, just keep your sword close by if you're doing that. When you're ready, I'm going to bring that left leg out wide and coming into our goddess pose. You want the toes away from the midline. Just sink into the hips, bending the knees. Just bring the arms out wherever they're comfortable. We're going to pulse it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to come into our warrior two. So we're going to take that right foot out, toes pointing towards the other side, and we're going to bend into that right knee. Bring the arms up parallel with the mat. If you've got the sword, so I think it's just Charlie and me, bring the sword into your finestra. Take the gaze over towards the left. So keep the posture if you're doing it with the sword. And for everybody, I want you to start sinking into that right leg. Bring yourself towards the mat and just lift up the left toes. You're coming onto that left heel, so we're stretching into that left hamstring. You can always bring the hands to the mat for this. What we're going to do is we're going to drop the left foot, start lifting up so you're facing the right. Drop the left knee and we're bending into that right knee. If you've got the sword, bring yourself into your bicorneo. So just hold the sword nice and steady, elbows in. And everybody, we're going to straighten that front leg, drop the bum back towards the heels, lift the right toes. We're stretching into the right hamstrings. If you want to have a go at lifting that right leg off the mat, you can. We're going to bend back into that right knee, come into frontale if you've got the sword. Let's bend back one more time, bring the sword out into longer. And we're going to come all the way back, bending into that right knee. And slowly bring yourself back into that side lunge. And bring the sword into your finestra. We're going to lift all the way up. And we're going to take warrior two on the other side. So we're bending into the left knee. Make your adjustments. So you want to be on the outer edge of that right foot. Bending into that left knee. Coming into sinestra if you've got the sword. Just slowly start coming into that left knee, coming into your side lunge. Remember, you can bring the hands to the mat for support. And then we're going to start facing the body over towards that left knee. We're going to drop the right knee. And just bring the sword out into your posture longer. If you don't have the sword, just keep the hands nice and active. And we're going to sink the bum back towards the heels, come into frontale. Let's come back. Bring it into bicorneo. And one more time, bum back towards the heels. You can choose posture longer here. You can have a go at lifting that left leg off the mat. And we're going to come back, bending into that left knee. Come back into your side lunge. You can bring the sword back into sinestra. And we're going to lift up all the way. We're going to come back into goddess pose. If you've got the sword, just hold it in both hands. And we're going to pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. I'm going to inhale to lift and slowly bring the sword to the mat. Bring the hands to the waist. We're going to inhale as we open the heart and exhale as we come into our forward fold. So just take the hands as they reach the mat. Just relax the back. Bring the hands to the waist. And we're going to inhale as we lift all the way up. Take your time. I'm going to come back into warrior two, bending into that right knee. Just bring the arms up, take the gaze over the right fingertips, breathe into it. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, we're going to frame that front foot. And we're going to shoot that right leg back into our three-legged dog. And you can come forward into three-legged plank and lower down through a three-legged chaturanga. You don't have to do this. Back into downward facing dog. Let's take one more inhale. And as you exhale, take the gaze between the hands. We're going to step or walk feet to hands. We're going to inhale, we lift up halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale to rise through Hastasana. Exhale, bring the arms back. We've got a few minutes left. We're going to bring the hands to the waist and just heel toe the feet mat distance apart. And slowly bring the hands to the heart center. And start sinking into your yogi squat. Don't worry if the heels lift, don't worry if you fall or wobble into the mat. You stay here for a few breaths, or you can use the elbows to open out the hips, or you can have a little go at crow pose. So with crow pose, you have to have a little play with the distance. We're all different shapes and sizes. But bring the hands out in front of you, lift the hips up, and see if you can slot the knees into the armpit area. If it's too towards the elbows, then don't try it. You want to be towards the armpits. Have a little play around, and then start shifting the weight a little bit forward into the hands. You can have a go at lifting one foot off at a time. Take the gaze a few inches in front of you. When you're ready, you're going to slowly drop the bum. Just bring the legs out. Hands by the side, fingers pointing towards the toes. We're going to inhale as we lift and lengthen through the upper body. Coming into our Dandasana pose, stick pose. Okay, one more inhale. And exhale to release. Now we're going to come into one more pose before we make our way towards the mat. And that's going to be butterfly pose. That's a really juicy forward fold. Bring the soles of the feet together, open them out like a book, and just let the knees naturally go where they go. Gap here, up to you, whatever's safe. We're going to inhale as we lift and lengthen. Exhale as we hinge forward from the hips. Neutral spine, just for the moment. Take one more inhale. And exhale, just let it go. So just round the back and you relax for a few moments. And when you're ready, slowly come up. You're going to draw the knees in towards each other and just bring yourself into your final Shavasana. So we're going to probably go a couple of minutes over just because we're waiting for people to come in. So I hope that's all right. And before you come into Shavasana, just squeeze everything and exhale to release. Just close down the eyes, soften the face. I'm just going to start deepening the breath. And slowly start to wriggle the fingers and the toe. And start rotating the ankles and the wrists. Bring a bit of life back into the body. Just bring the legs in towards each other and bring each knee into the chest. Give yourself a nice little hug. And stretch it out. Any other little movements that you need. And slowly come up to your cross-legged position. So nice and safe. Keeping the eyes closed and the face soft. I'm going to bring the hands to heart center. I'm going to end with our 3 clearing breaths. Slowly bring the thumbs up to the third eye. Thanking yourself for a nice, strong practice. Being proud of yourself for trying new things. The inner light in me will always honour the inner light in each and every one of you. Thank you so much for today's practice. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you very much, everybody. Brilliant.
You.
Take care.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, love.
Bye.